Tell me what you eat, and I will tell you what you are. Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. This is what Epicurean, gourmand and gastronome Frenchman Jean-Anselme Brillat-Savarin said in the 18th century. And ever since I came across this sentence over 10 years ago, almost 15 years ago now actually, it makes me wonder, what can it tell about me? Am I really what I am eating? Let's go back to my childhood. According to my parents, I was a fussy eater because I only ate three things: plain white pasta, plain white rice, and plain white bread. Now, how you can call this fussy is literally beyond me, because all these ingredients can be found in the supermarkets, even in this time of crisis, and they're very easy to cook. So fussy, I don't think I was. And at school, my dreaded experience was the canteen, where you had these old burly ladies that were looking after us and tell us, eat, it's good for you. And this weird concoction they would give us that we couldn't put any salt or pepper on because there wasn't any, where the beans tasted as if they were sweet, and when you had this orange-looking goo that I ended up calling the Dalek space for some reason, that tasted foul. One of my memory of the school canteen is one day, I was in high school this time, it was a special day. They were serving spaghetti with what looked like a red burgundy sauce on the top of it. And I said to the big burly lady behind the counter, plain white pasta, please. Here you go. And I had 4 dollops of bolognese sauce on my pasta, which I actually ended up liking. And I'm like, oh, I quite like this dish now. And every time we would come back again in school, I would always add some of that sauce. So what does that sentence, tell me what you eat and I'll tell you what you are, said about me as a kid? It said that I wasn't really used to trying out new things. I was perhaps a bit sheltered by my parents and kind of really not really doing much exciting things, which is actually kind of what my life was like at the time. My parents also tended to eat the same thing. For a couple of years, the only thing my dad would have for dinner were chicory, lardon, and bovril. Just imagine that, having that for dinner every single day after you come back from work. Now, as a teenager, when I moved to university here in the UK, I was free of the constraint of my parents. I could eat whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. And this is where I became an intimate relationship with a lady. She had blonde golden hairs. She was quite voluptuous. I like them a bit voluptuous. And I would go to see her at least twice a week. We'd always eat together. And I gave her a lot of money for that. That lady's name, McDonald's. And I once remember in my last year of university writing on my diary, this has been a very busy week. I had meetings quite late, I had to deliver training. But thanks to McDonald's, KFC, and Burger King, I was able to survive and eat this week. And as I sat on the Students' Union Council that was looking after shops and restaurant provision on campus, I even made one suggestion to them. I think you should bring back munchies. Oh no, Florian, not that greasy spoon that was there on campus a few years ago. But come on! You could have a pizza, a can of Coke, and chips for £2.80. I wanted this place back on campus. They did not follow my suggestion. So what does the sentence tell me? That back when I was a student, I didn't eat really well, I didn't look after myself really well, and actually at the time, I couldn't do a single push-up, I couldn't really do any kind of exercise at all. I was maybe a little bit rounder than I am right now, and of course, I didn't have a girlfriend. Now what about right now? What about what's happening right now? what do I eat now? I'm no longer exactly fussy, and I'm no longer married for life for McDonald's. Well, I still go there once a week, but this is another debate. Every time I travel, I like to try out the local cuisine and just experiment my repertoire. I tried durian fruit in Malaysia, borscht in Russia, and many other cool things. Pickled beetroot in Poland 3 weeks ago, and I loved all of them except for the durian fruit because it tastes like shit. It really does, properly. So. And it's just always a joy to just discover the local cuisine. I had some lovely pierogies in Poland with some grilled onion and some grilled bacon on the top, sprinkled on the top. I even had a second helping of it as I loved so much on the train back from Białystok to Warsaw. And I did end up trying the local McDonald's, but I was constrained by my local guide who was driving at 150 miles an hour on the motorway, 150 kilometers. Sorry, just getting the measurements right. It's metric down there, and here it's imperial. So let's rewind a little bit there. And obviously, she wasn't successful at killing me when they're driving, so she said, "I'm going to kill him with food instead." And the way she was chatting with that other friend in the car, tap tap. Oh, we're going to go to McDonald's, Florian. You've been outvoted. Great. I'm in a foreign country, and she takes me to McDonald's. Isn't she supposed to be an ambassador for our culture? But now what has happened is I eat better than I am at university and actually spend half the amount of money on food than I did back then for some reason. So even though I was a poor student, I was spending more on food than I am now. So what does it say about me? It says that I've definitely become a lot more adventurous. It says that I definitely look after myself a lot better. But considering that my lunch today was some sliced cheese, a bit of peanuts, and and a can of sardines, which I think is not too bad a lunch, it means that I'm a man in a hurry that could perhaps eat a little bit better. So tell me what you eat. I will tell you what you are. Well, tell me what you eat, and I might be able to find out what you are, because that's a